What's going on, guys? I'm Jaye the Black. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I really do appreciate it. I want to talk about Troy Ave. He was speaking, a rapper, Troy Ave, if you don't know who he is, out of New York. He was speaking on his podcast. Yes, he has a podcast. And he made some comments about Joe Budden. Now, they've had their issues before. This isn't anything new. But he said some things that raised some eyebrows. Now, apparently he said this, I believe, a couple of days ago, but it became a story today. And I found it really interesting because the number of issues that Joe Budden has had with other dudes, it's always involved women. I mean, not only has him and, Troy Ave has had a situation before involving women, the game, and for Troy Ave to go on this podcast and to say, you know what, me and Fab smashed all your girls, the ones that you loved. It might be a short list. We may know who they are, and I don't know. The people they like to try Joe. I don't know what it is. Maybe Joe gets under people's skin, but they like to try Joe. They like to tell Joe how they done smashed, his girls before. Now, we all know that, Troy did a music video with one of Joe Budden's exes, actually his baby's mother. And she was looking at his face. I believe this was before they got together. And Troy has always held it over his head. But Joe wifed her anyway, had a kid with her, still broke up with her. I think that one of the things that caused Joe Budden's breakup, I believe, was when him and the game had an issue, and the game says, I smashed Sin. And she never publicly either really responded to it or denied it. And, Joe, he might have wifed a chick who's for everybody. Who, we talk, and I know I've talked about how, these females are for the streets, but you still got dudes that wife them up anyway. Y'all are wifing up chicks that done been with everybody. Maybe they've learned, maybe they haven't, but these chicks have been with everybody, and y'all wifing them up, y'all giving them second and third opportunities. You got to understand, you're wifing ex groupies or ex video vixens or these Insta models who done been with everybody. We know these guys swim in the same waters, but the fact that he included Fabolous in it, you think Fabolous wants to be included in that? He's trying to salvage the situation he's in now. I would have put it past Fabolous. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's taking on a lot of different chicks. But going into Troy Ave's rant, okay? Troy Ave is talking about how Joe is a bit of a junkie, and he's too emotional. He talks about how Joe is emotional. Joe may be emotional. It could be passion. Joe, he sees himself as being more intelligent than other people. So I can understand why there are going to be guys that are taken aback by it. But, there was some interesting comments that Joe made about Troy Ave and his personality and how he's sort of scared off by his personality, And looking at that, it just tells you that Joe has more of a laid back, it is what it is podcast. It is what it is personality. If a female is getting with this guy, that guy, charge her to the game. I'm not going to try to hold her. If she done been with these different guys, that's the type of guy he is. And I can understand having that perspective because you don't want to get caught up in your feelings, But he's saying that Joe is emotional. Maybe there are things that we don't see. I just think that these guys have got to stop using women in their beefs, okay? Y'all are smashing these chicks, okay? Y'all are getting into relationships with the same chicks. I mean, what would really impress me is you getting with women who haven't been with everybody, getting with chicks who ain't with a different rapper or a different athlete. A lot of these dudes are recycling the same chicks. These chicks are being recycled. They're being passed around. They don't think they're being passed around, but you are. If you're dating a football player, trust and believe you've probably dated a dude he's cool with. If you're dating a basketball player, 9 times out of 10, you've dated another guy who he's cool with, and they've probably had conversations about you. They probably even traded pictures about you. I mean, this stuff goes on. Let's not pretend like it doesn't. Even if these people are celebrities or not. You got chicks, man, who are for everybody, who are going from one dude to another, not understanding those dudes may know each other. Maybe they don't care. As long as they get their opportunity to date a famous person, maybe they don't care. Maybe they care once they are done with that phase. Now they want to be taken seriously. You know what's crazy? I'll be on social media, right? And I'll be seeing these chicks who used to be video vixens. They were the Insta models. They were dating rappers. All of a sudden, they want to be intellectual. They all of a sudden now want to be nerdy. They want to be emo. They want to be gamers. They're just trying so hard to be the polar opposite of what they really are. Or try to seem like they are interested in things that they weren't really interested in before because it wasn't popular. How many chicks, even dudes that y'all know was wearing Vans 10 years ago? Even, let's say, 7 years ago. But this is what we have. And the thing with Troy Ave is that Troy Ave has gotten himself in some very unfortunate situations, okay? And that he's still lucky to be here. He's still lucky to be here. Now, people talk about how Troy is this and this and that. Listen, man. You got dudes out here who are going to preserve their situation. You got dudes out here who don't care about a street code, because the honest truth is there is no street code. And definitely ain't no bro code. When you got these dudes trading women, there is no bro code at all, And I have said this for the last couple of years. These dudes will go after the women that you've been with, and then they will brag about it. How can you brag about somebody that they ain't with no more? And I also find it interesting that, Troy can say this. He can talk about all the ex-girlfriends that he has smashed, either before Joe Budden or after Joe Budden, and none of them publicly are saying anything. That lets you know that it's very true. And they know it's true. And Troy Ave knows it's true. When you are out here publicly talking about how you have had relations with a female because listen, Sin is out there. She will say whatever comes to mind. She will go at people at times. Tahiri the same way. None of them have said anything. Even the particular person that Joe Budden was on couples therapy with. None of them have come out publicly from what I have seen to defend themselves and to say he ain't been with me. Not to say they have to, but it's not a good look, because people are going to believe that you're out here going from one rapper to the next. And that's what's going on. Are out here for everybody, man, and Troy knows it. Now, I think I have said this before, that Joe is a critic and he's going to piss people off, and he knows this. But Joe doesn't care because he's a podcaster. He's delved deep into that realm. He's not going to play favorites, unlike some people I've seen. They will play favorites and then say they don't play favorites when they do. And he has angered a lot of people. He talked about, I think one of the things that sparked off his initial beef with Troy Ave is that he made fun of his music sales. Maybe it was sour grapes. Maybe he knew about Troy's escapades with, Sin or whomever he may have been with, and he felt some type of way about it, But it's really crazy when you see dudes go at each other like this and talk about how they done smashed their girls. Let me tell you something, man. If I was dating a chick, right, and then you smashed her, and I'm not with her no more, it really doesn't matter. Now, I'm going off of if he was with the exes after Joe, because Joe Budden is known for dating baddies. He is, and maybe dudes are like, he ain't dating no baddies. I done smashed them. So how are they baddies? How are they, how would he's placing them up there like trophies when I done smashed them? And I have no doubt that Troy has, because we all know that a lot of women out there love them some rappers, and they chase after these rappers. They go and they get surgeries in order to look good to attract a rapper. We know this. So they can get a baby by a rapper. They can get flown out by a rapper. We know that this stuff goes on, okay? And what Joe has done, I have to give him credit, is that he charges these chicks to the game and say, yo, I'm not with them, so who cares? You know, who cares? I just have to date women who ain't out chasing behind none of these rappers. But sometimes you just never know, because you got a lot of low-key thotting going on. You got sneak thotting going on. You got chicks out here sneak thotting, man. That's why you see them in different hotel rooms. You never see them at home. They always on a plane somewhere, and they ain't got no business. They ain't out doing no modeling. They out here getting, dizzicked down by your favorite local rapper. That's what's going on. I'm just not a fan of using women in beefs. I mean, is that really a win? You just expose the fact that these chicks are basically loose for a rapper. You basically justified Joe Budden's decision not to date these chicks. And honestly, if I heard a dude say that he got with, now again, it could be a situation where, he got with those chicks before Joe, and Joe may feel some type of way. This is why you don't go after these reality TV chicks or these Insta models, because trust and believe, they done been a lot of different places. Don't believe that BS about how they're not out here getting with these. Don't believe that. Come on, man. Don't believe that. Why do you think that they are getting all that artificial work done to their bodies just to look good in selfies? Come on, man. They're trying to get back on that investment. Trust and believe, that's an investment. That's an investment. Now you got these chicks talking about being fitness models. Ain't this a bit?